I'm out of here, right? And then I leave you to be a single mother. What's going on, guys? Back with another video. So today we're going to be reviewing a Kevin Samuels video titled Meet the Wife of Your Dreams. The title is probably not going to match the caller, right? It's probably going to be some crazy, not crazy, but just something wild in regards to what she's saying or expectations, things of that nature. But anyways, we're going to take a look at this video. So here we go. All right, guys, make sure you don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Appreciate all the love and support that we're getting. So much appreciated. So enjoy the video.
Okay, what do you have for me on the topic?
All right. I'm Asia. I'm 31. I live in Brooklyn, New York.
Do you have a child?
Divorced. Yes, I do. I'm also a current divorcee.
Okay.
My first husband, because that's who my daughter's dad is, he is a middle six-figure earner. He's a physician. So I feel like, personally, I present myself well to men in that financial bracket.
Okay, what's the question?
My question is, how is it after coming out of a marriage like that, do I then present myself once again to men of that financial bracket? Because you're saying
let's
that.
Let's get right to it. How old are you?
31.
And your ex-husband did what?
He's a doctor. He's a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. Okay. All right. See, that's the difference. When we say doctor, medical doctor, physician, internist, surgeons, that's where the real money is. Psychiatrists, psychologists, they do well, but they ain't rich.
That's what I said. He's a middle six-figure earner.
All right. So, and you said you were married twice?
No, he is my first and only husband so far.
And how long ago were you married?
Up until 3 years ago.
Okay. So you're 31?
Yes.
You got married at 18?
Yes.
Were you raised by mom and dad?
Mom at home and dad not at home.
So no.
My mother and father were married. My father lived out of the state working. So yes.
How much older was your husband than you?
We'll say 35 years.
Okay, I just need the truth. So
no, he is much older than me.
So he's 53?
Currently, yes.
Okay, why was an 18-year-old man a 53-year-old man? Did your father hook you guys up?
No, my father's younger than him. For me, it was a personal choice. I was not raised in a household where I had.
What'd she say? She was 18 and then she met the guy was at 53?
He was, she got married at 18 and he was 53 at the time. So he was older than her dad when she got married.
Right.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on an 18-year-old with someone like more than double her age? What are your thoughts on that?
No. No, I don't agree with it at all. That's one of the causes of divorce is marrying too young. So I don't agree with it. It's just 18 is way too young. You're not fit to be you don't know what you're doing at 18. You don't even know.
18 is
you still got milk on your lip or whatever.
You still got a milk mustache.
Yeah,
right?
It's just you're too young at that point to even know life, right? And to let alone get into a marriage. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I feel like that's really young. Mm-hmm. Majority of people at 18, men or female, male, whatever, are usually very immature for that next step in their life. I think mid 20s is a good time to get married and have kids, or around your 20s.
I would say
there's more life to live.
Yeah, I would say early 20s. I would even go as young as 21, 22
to get married.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what they used to do in traditional households 40, 50 years ago, right?
Doesn't mean but like I said, it goes back to one of the reasons of divorce is marrying too young. Yeah. That's so just because it happened a long time ago doesn't necessarily mean.
Do you think that's the divorce?
It's one of them, though.
The reason?
It's one of them for sure. Mm-hmm. It's one of the top reasons. Okay. So that's why I don't agree with yes, sure, you could get married young, and of course we're not discrediting the fact that people who do get married young, it does work out for them. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of people who do marry too young and end up in divorce because they have either weren't mature enough or married the wrong person. People change when, you know what I mean? I'm not the same person as I was when I was 18 now that I'm 25, right? I've lived more. I've had more life that I've other experiences in my life to bring more maturity to me, right? So I don't fully agree getting married. Even 21, I feel like that's still very pivotal, like very young mindset.
The thing is,
yeah.
like, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you to an extent, but if you are, let's say, young and saying, hey, I want to learn, teach me, like, that's exactly what a man wants. Like, a man doesn't want somebody that he has to reprogram. Like, he literally wants a white canvas to just paint on. And if she's saying, hey, paint me, like, that's what a man wants, regardless of her age. But I mean, let's continue. Maybe there's more to the story. But I mean, I haven't watched this video, but from what I'm gathering is she specifically sought out a guy that was in his 50s. I'm
at
getting
18.
At 18, I'm getting like a gold digger vibe.
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say,
But
like,
again, I haven't watched the video. Maybe we'll continue and
we'll see
what they're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
To love or be with any particular race, religion, or sex. If I'd have brought home 2 palm trees and said that this is what I wanted to be with for the rest of my life, there wouldn't have been any question.
That's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. That's a damn shame that you could bring home 2 palm trees and we think that's okay. But okay. Was your ex-husband black?
Yes, he was.
All right. 53 years old. You could pick him. Great. Why'd y'all divorce?
My husband got sick with cancer, and that changed him, and it changed the dynamics of our marriage. There was nothing that I did not do.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm going to need to be very specific with the next few questions. Did he have chemo or radiation?
He had a form of chemo, which is called BCG. It's an injection.
I know.
That
I know what cancer is. I'm a cancer survivor.
Okay.
Is he in remission?
Yes, he is.
And you divorced him because, and who filed for divorce?
I did.
Why?
He became mentally, emotionally, and financially abusive.
What does that mean?
So mentally, I was degraded. I was made to feel less than. I was talked.
What are your thoughts on her saying they had problems? Kevin asked specifically what the problems were. She said that he had cancer, and ultimately the dynamic of the relationship changed. Like, it seems like that was the primary reason, because now she's talking about abuse and all that. Like, if the abuse was so impactful, why wouldn't that be the first thing that you've mentioned in this conversation? Why did you mention his cancer first, overriding the abuse? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Because you know what happens with these stories? It only shows her side, right? Like, who knows how she was acting and, like, towards her husband, but he didn't leave. Because
majority of women leave marriages. I think it's like 70 or 80%.
It's a high number. They're the
like,
ones
majority of women will leave. But right now she's painting a victim role where she was abused verbally, physically. If somebody verbally and physically abuses you, and someone says, why did you divorce? And the verbal and physical abuse was so predominant, that would be the first thing out of your mouth. You wouldn't say he had cancer, right? Like, that wouldn't trump.
That wouldn't be the main reason.
That would not trump why you guys broke up. It would be the physical abuse, and that's the first thing that you would mention. So the fact that she's mentioning something other than the abuse first, leading with cancer, and then mentioning the abuse, and then trying to paint a victim role, it just seems like something's just completely off.
Something feels off because, of course, like, if there's any abuse in a relationship, marriage, whatever, yes, leave. Like, no one deserves that.
Right, but again, that you would say he abused me. Like, that would be the first thing.
Yes, that should be that's your only reason that you need to say.
Right.
The cancer thing, like, is, I don't know why she led with that, to be honest. But I don't know.
Well, in my opinion, the situation no longer became, it was no longer convenient for her, right?
Yeah.
She had to be in a position where she had to take care of him, right? She had to be in a position where she had to make sure he was good. Maybe he had to eat at a certain time. Maybe she had to get him up out of bed and take him for walks and things of that nature. Like, she had to take more of the burden versus him financially taking care of the burden of just supplying a life for her, right?
Yes.
So now that the roles have been reversed and now he's in a position where he needs somebody to take care of him, now she's saying, you know what, I'm out of here, right? And
Yeah.
at 18, seeking a man that's 53, you're not in the mindset of necessarily, hey, I'm going to take care of this guy. Well, for her specifically,
Yeah.
it seems like she was more in the mindset
It's majority
of,
though, I think.
yeah, like, let me find a rich guy to take care of me. And now, again, she's saying I'm out at this point in time, right?
Yes.
So
this leads back to what I was saying, that you're not mature enough at that age to be able to know what you're really getting into, you know? Like, marriage is meant to be for your life only once, right? For the most part. Some people take it differently. I don't know. But at least for me, like, I take marriage very seriously, and I only want to do it once in my life.
Yeah.
So I will be very careful with that decision. I know at 18, 21, I would not be suitable as a wife, right? So now that I'm in my mid-20s, like, I know more, I've done more research, and I care more now to actually be there and have a lasting marriage, as opposed to getting into something too quickly and not being able to make a sound decision, which is partially, I think, what happened with her. She probably wasn't, you know, oh, he's psychiatrist, he's making a lot of money, he can easily take care of me, even though he's older, it's fine. Right. And then as soon as he's not able to, you know, financially be there for her, bye. Like, like, it's just not. But
also take this into consideration. Currently, she's 31. Right?
Yeah.
So even though she got married at 18, now she's 31. I'm assuming they got divorced. Even if it was at 26, 27, I mean, you had enough time to develop as an individual.
This is true, yeah.
So I think in this specific example, I don't think age is really a factor, because now that she's a little older, she's still a shitty person, right? So
yeah.
But let's continue.
Yeah, we'll see what else there is.
More. Down to emotionally, as a partner and a spouse, I was emotionally neglected, and financially, funds began to be withheld from me that would have normally never been an issue.
God almighty. Okay. It's amazing how many women who file for divorce seem to be so abused. But to answer your question, no. No. Any man who's a Henry hearing this would be wise to run. None of this sounds appealing. Do you understand why?
That's the reason why I'm calling and asking said
Well,
question.
ma'am, you got married at 18 years old. So if you're 30, he should be 65.
I'm 31, so he's 66.
Right. Okay. So for everybody at home, she was 18, married to a 53-year-old. And he took care of you just fine up until he got sick.
Correct.
And then when he was fighting for his life, you became a snowflake.
No, when he was fighting for his life, I became a warrior. There was
Whoa. Okay, I'll give you that one. But I'm going to need you to understand what you just said. He was fighting for his life. What
Correct.
war were you in? For your life?
No, for my husband's health.
Ma'am, you just said you were in your husband, you divorced your husband because he became financially abusive.
Don't
overtalk.
Can I?
No. The man was going. Okay, he was being injected with poison. He was going through quite a bit. So you know what? He's allowed to go through some. Was he on prednisone also?
No.
Okay. Was he on any kind of steroid?
No, he refused.
But he was.
All right. So what are your thoughts on that? You know, guy's fighting for his life. He has cancer. He's been taking care of this woman from, 18 to 31. Now that he's in a situation where, hey, I need your help of taking care of you for X amount of years. And now she's saying, deuces, I'm out. And then saying I've been abused and all this other crap. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Again, I don't know how, okay, when someone says abuse, like mental abuse, that I don't want to take that lightly, but from the sounds of it though, I'm not gonna lie,
she was conveniently abused. She was conveniently mentally abused.
Something sounds off.
While he had cancer. And if the abuse happened for 18 until 31, why did you stay for that long?
Exactly, right? That's my whole thing. I'm just like, all right, so you maybe just put up with it, possibly, until it got to, like, and then when he got sick, you were just like, okay, enough is enough. That could have been a situation. I don't want to.
But enough is enough for who though?
For
Because if someone's
her?
battling cancer, I mean, that's not
No,
abuse
I'm saying, let's
to
say
her.
if the abuse got worse, right? Because then she added on the financial abuse because he was easily like he was taking care of her, everything was good, peachy before the cancer. Then after the cancer is where she's saying like I was mentally abused, financially abused, all that stuff. So
maybe his mood. You're saying his mood got worse?
I don't even know, man. Like, because she honestly doesn't sound. If I'm being entirely honest, I feel like she's making it sound worse than it actually was, and she's just using it as an excuse to
for sure.
want to leave because, you know, financially now he can't probably, maybe he stopped his practice or something, or...
Because that's like a man. It's like a man. I mean, generally speaking, women have their ways about them, right? They can be a little, I mean, let's keep it honest. It can be a little naggy at times.
At times. That's fair to say.
So imagine you get pregnant and your nagginess...
For the 9 months.
Yeah. For the 9 months, just elevates, right? It just elevates, and you're naggy, complaining, whining, and I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with this mental abuse. I'm out of here, right? And then I leave you to be a single mother. Like, what happens then as a man? I'd be crucified, nailed to the cross. I'd be stoned to death at midnight. Like, all these things, right? Me Too movement, cancel culture, like all these things would happen. And here she is freely just talking about, yep, I left him while he had cancer because he was mentally abusive. Like, I don't know. For me, it just doesn't add up.
If it was true, okay. If the abuse was really that bad, that's the only reason you need to give. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that should have been the thing that she led with, being like, no, of course, like, mentally, physically, whatever, that's not okay for anybody to stay in that. So that should have been the main reason. Like,
right, and it wasn't the first thing she mentioned.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you're with somebody for so long, you can go through counseling. Like, there's other avenues.
I don't know if she was going to mention if they tried to make it work, because, you know, if it's just a mental thing, you can probably go talk to somebody and then work it out and communicate.
Right.
But... we'll see, I guess, if there's more to say, but...
Let's continue.
Still injected in poison. So, ma'am, here's your story. I got married to a man at 53 years old at 18, and this man took perfect care of me. He was older than my father. Do you have to work? Did you have to work when you were married?
No, but I chose
you didn't have to. No. You chose, but you didn't pay no real bills. You didn't have no skills. Knock it off. He was the money. He was the money. See, he actually saved you from yourself, and then when he got sick... Are you a Christian?
No.
Where'd you get married?
We got married at a courthouse.
And what vows did you use?
Sickness and in health. So that was what the general vows. The general vows.
From the Bible.
If that's where they get them from, then yeah.
Well, you know where they get them from. You're a married woman. And you said them. And then when he got sick, you bailed.
No, I did not. But I hear what you're saying.
No, you did. You just don't want to hear it that way. You left. You're sick.
No, I did.
You divorced your cancer suffering husband.
Once he was in remission. After
Okay. So after,
I didn't.
Okay.
I would never leave anybody like that because I would hate to be left like that.
Right.
There's not a doctor's appointment.
So are you working right now?
Currently, yes.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I own my own private consultancy business.
How did you get the money to run that business?
By working other jobs. I've been a flight attendant, so I saved my own money.
Okay, so I want to get straight. You mean your ex-husband didn't have any money tied? He didn't help you get to start your own business. You didn't take any money from or resources from the marriage.
No. When I left the marriage, all I wanted was my name, my car, and my daughter's college account. That's it.
Your car and college account. Okay. Yeah, I got other people in here. I'm gonna just tell you right now, no, ma'am. Nope. My spidey senses are tingling, and I'm sensing all kind of lies, deceptions, half truths. And at 18 years old, 31 years old, I'm gonna be honest, ma'am, this is a whole mess. Even the way you're talking, it just sounds like, ugh. You divorced your ex, and what you think you're just gonna pick another one? Why would anybody want to deal with it?
Let's see. I'm intelligent. I'm motivated. I have my own business. I maintain my own lifestyle. I'm not understanding the full scope of your question.
Well, see, that's the problem now, ain't it? You just described yourself as a man. See, you got to understand.
All right, guys, so we're going to end the video here. Like, what are your final thoughts? Even her tone was very cold, like, whatever. He had cancer, it's all good. And now she's basically saying, hey, you know, I take care of myself. I do this, I do that. I run my own company. Like, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, it sounded more like she was talking to an employer when she was mentioning all that. Because, like, I think she said she has a daughter. So, you know, there's other things you can talk about qualities of yourself when you're trying to, like, position yourself for a partner. I'm with him where he's like, my spidey senses are tingling, where it's like something feels very off. Like, I don't know how honest she's being in this entire conversation. So that's why I'm like, something is missing. Like, I don't think she's telling the full truth. So, but from the core of it, she did leave her husband while he was in remission. Don't take the vow if you don't believe it. Like, how about that? Like, that's one way of like saying it.
Right.
But overall, this is just no.
Yeah.
This is
But
not.
I mean, like we said, just to end off, like I said before, a lot of women leave and they simply can't take the pressure of when things don't go right. If it's finance or sickness, health, they just can't handle it, and they just end up bailing. And unfortunately, that's what happened here. And now she's calling Kevin Samuels looking for another high value man, like,
or like how to get
another one. Like, I don't know why she initially called in, but I'm assuming she's
it was for that,
asking to get another one
for Henry.
So it's like, yep, I got him when he was 18, got sick, now he's out the picture, let me grab another one. Like, it just seems very cold and inappropriate, so to speak. But
premarital counseling needs to be done more often.
Yeah,
because this is one of the questions that they ask, like, very in depth, of like, if something happens, like, let's say if someone does get sick, what's going to happen? If, let's say, if you have a child that is what is it, like, disabled or something like that, what would you guys do?
Right.
And they give you these scenarios for you to really understand, all right, what am I getting into? Because this is, if you're taking it seriously and this is a lifelong decision that both of you are making, this is something that should have been discussed prior. So he understood what he was getting into beforehand, and so does she. Especially when you are getting older. He was 53 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's more chances of you, like, sickness happening and stuff. Anyways.
Yeah, and as a man, you should do a better job protecting yourself, because the law is on the woman's side, unfortunately. And if you need to see a counselor and sit down and say, hey, like, what would you do in this scenario? Like, I would recommend for a man to do that. That way you can minimize your risk and ultimately find the best person for you, and then you can just live happily ever after.
Yeah. So anyway, that's good advice. So yeah.
Fair enough. Anyways, guys, that is our reaction. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.